Welcome to Women Today, the show created by women for women on issues that are important to us. I'm your host, Liz Tolan. I am joined once again, as always, by my good friends and co-host Debbie Shandrick, Lonnie Polai. How are you both today?
We're good.
It's good to see you here.
And we're happy to be here.
And you're going to be especially happy to be here because I think there's food today.
I know there is.
With Kathy. Yes. And we're gonna have a real kitchen type theme show. We've got Tom Pilla from Keystone Kitchen and Bath is going to be here with us, just in time for the holidays. You know, I don't know how you guys are with your house, but I've started looking around now and thinking, okay, Thanksgiving's coming, Christmas is coming, and I like my house to look nice for the holidays. But
it really motivates you to make some decisions and do something.
But you know, Lonnie, it's the worst time of the year to try to invest in something like that because Christmas is coming, you have Christmas presents and you're entertaining. So Tom's going to help us figure out how we can spruce up those living areas and not spend a bundle of money. So that's going to be excellent.
To tell us.
Yep. So we're looking forward to that. And then later on in the show, we'll have our Businesswoman of the Week. We'll find out who's won that beautiful bling from Sophie's from last week. You know, don't you?
I do know.
But you're not going to tell yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're going to have to stay tuned for that. But right after the break, we're joined by Tom Pilla from Keystone Kitchen and Bath, and he's going to tell you how you can spruce up your home just in time for the holidays. It's coming up next. Stay with us.
Women Today is produced in cooperation with the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance.
Welcome back to Women Today. We are now joined by Tom Pilla of Keystone Kitchen and Bath. Tom, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
And if the last name sounds familiar, his wife Nancy from Nancy's Fresh Cut Market was on a couple of weeks ago. Now we've got the other half of the equation. And so now you've got the stuff to put in the kitchen and the stuff to make the kitchen, and between the two of you have us all covered. So thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Now, Tom, we were talking a little bit before we went to break about how, you know, the holidays, you love to entertain in your home, but it's a challenging time to do things in your home because, you know, the holidays get expensive. But one thing I noticed when I was down in your shop, you've got a lot of awful neat stuff in there. So what would you suggest to someone if they want to spruce it up a bit for the holidays? What's the first step that they should do?
Well, if you want to spruce it up, let's say relatively quick, probably the easiest would be changing some appliances out, some countertops, maybe your sink, your faucet, maybe your floor. Because what happens is a lot of kitchens may be a little drabby looking, and they may need just a little facelift, like the cabinets may be in good shape and a good layout, because that's what we ask people right from the get-go. Is your layout okay? And most of them say, yes, I like the layout, I just need some little tweaking here and there. So leave the cabinets alone, change the counters, do maybe a tile backsplash, change the sink and faucet and the appliances and the floor, and you walk into that room and it's a totally different look.
Oh, I like that. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
And basically you'll come in and work with the people and just give them all your ideas, or do you more or less just first find out how extensive they want to go?
Yeah, usually when they come in or call for the first time, I talk to them a little bit. We don't have a big staff. There's only 3 of us, so we're kind of like hands-on. The buck stops here. Yeah.
So very personalized
Yeah.
attention.
That's wonderful.
So when they come in, you know, most of the initial questions are, you know, what do you want to do? You know, maybe talk a little bit about, you know, what's your budget, or what could we, you know, keep this into, you know, to try to make it work for you. And then they'll kind of open up and say, well, you know, my budget's this or that, but this is what I want to do, no matter if it's a kitchen or bathroom. Some will say, you know, I don't want to change the cabinets. Some will say, I want to change the cabinets. Yeah. So that's about probably the way to start.
What about as far as functionality of the kitchen? One of the things I noticed when I was visiting your facility there, you've got a lot of neat things. You have little desk things that you can build in, and wine racks and all kinds of like really handy. I mean, some of the stuff I didn't even know existed, but I mean, you look at it, you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. What are some kind of like little add-ons that people could do if they want to get organized with what they have there?
A lot of people like trash pull-outs instead of seeing the garbage can in the corner and the dog getting at it.
That's right.
You know, put the trash away, roll out shelves, you know, easy accessibility, because, you know, a lot of people are, you know, maybe not as mobile as they used to be. Not a bad thing, but you're just not as mobile. So, you know, pull out trays and
That's great.
stuff
It's so
like that.
easy then to get out
Yeah.
your pots and pans and.
And some people, if they have the room, a lot of people will want a space for maybe like their laptop or their little home office-y area. And you could do a lot of cool things with cabinets now and make it part of, you know, the kitchen, because that's usually the heart of where everybody's at and where everybody
Exactly.
wants to
People gather. I
stay.
mean, don't you find that when you have company
Always.
too? I mean,
All the
the
time.
living room and everything else, but everybody's in the kitchen.
Yes.
I'll have an open concept in my house, but we're all kind of gathered around the island area.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about islands, because one thing I find, I don't know, maybe because my kids were smaller when I built my house, there's never enough room. We can't have two people in between the island and the kitchen, the cooking area, or it's
Right.
just we're in each other's way. Is it possible, and now I would really, like when I built my home, I have a log home, I think we talked about that. I would really like to have like a granite, like in the middle of that big room to cook on and do, I mean, I have an island now, but it's too close to the rest of the stuff. Is it possible to move that island? Can you move an island?
Well, it might be kind of hard depending on what the floor entails, because sometimes the floor was built around the island. You know, so that's a little bit hard to say without.
Is that something that you guys would do though? Would you actually come into someone's house and look at what they have in place
Yeah.
and then tell them what's doable and what's not?
We do a lot of jobs back to the initial thing we talked about with, you know, sprucing it up, kind of an idea. A lot of homes were designed maybe in the 90s that you had the formal dining room, you didn't really have a big kitchen, and now it's being more of an open look, and we do a lot of islands just into an existing kitchen, but don't even worry about matching your color. Just make the island something totally different.
So suppose I wanted to open up my kitchen into my dining room and there's a wall and hopefully not a supporting wall.
Right.
Is that something that you can remove that wall and just extend?
Yeah, because back to the 90s house, it was like I said, the formal dining room and the kitchen, and everybody was kind of, even my own house, we had a formal dining room, and the people in there were like the ones that you felt bad for because you could never talk to them. You couldn't talk to them through a
If you were in the
doorway.
kitchen, that's like when
That's
we were
right.
kids. Your parents were in the they were in the kitchen. Your mother was
Yeah.
in the kitchen, and everybody else was somewhere else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
like about having that big open area. You can still socialize and cook and talk.
Yeah.
And you know, another point you were saying about sprucing it up. Last year, I simply changed the pulls on my cabinets to
Yes.
stainless steel.
Oh, that's a
They
great
were like
idea.
white
Yeah, right.
porcelain, and changed out a few appliances and changed the tile. We put in tumbled marble. It used to be white tile. And I'll tell you what, you were saying about you walk in, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And it didn't cost a fortune.
Right.
Did not cost a fortune. We did it ourselves. That was a little bit of experimentation.
Yeah.
Dave used the saw thing. I didn't want to do the saw thing, but I did with the stuff. But you don't have to spend a ton of money to
Right.
do something like that, and that
Right.
really will spruce it up.
Yeah.
And if people aren't as adventurous, you can do that. You'll
Right.
come in and do
He
that
does
for them.
everything,
does.
actually,
Yeah.
from what I understand.
Tell us a little bit about where do you start and stop as far as what you can do?
On the normal job, we'll pretty much strip the room down to the four walls.
So as
And-
demolition, you'll take stuff out.
Yeah, we'll do the plumbing, we'll do any kind of electrical or lighting, flooring, and then obviously the cabinets, the countertops, if you need appliances. Hook everything up and pretty much do a turnkey out the door.
Appliances too.
Appliances too, yeah.
So one stop.
That's
One stop
wonderful.
if you want, because
Wow.
most
Most
people like
are
that.
at work and
Yeah.
you know they're leaving you alone in their
Right.
home, and if
And
it's
you don't want to wait for
subcontractors
this
coming
to
in
be
and
delivered
out.
and that to be
Right.
delivered, and oh, that's
Yeah,
too
it's a lot of
much.
coordination, but in the long run, most people are much more comfortable with, I know you, you know me.
Right.
And you
You
know
know.
what
Both
my
on the
plan
same
is,
page.
that there's
Right.
Yeah.
no mix-up in
Right.
signals,
Yeah.
you know what's going
Yeah.
on.
We had talked earlier about like trends, and you had said something that the island now is like a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different color?
Yeah, no matter if it's in an existing kitchen or a new kitchen, a lot of people like that idea of, I want something a little bit different. I don't want it all to match. You know, I love the open space, but I want
That gives you a
something
lot
to
of
kinda-
flexibility then
Yeah.
too. You could really do some different things.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. Now, if people, we're going to run out of time. If people are interested in getting ready for the holidays, they need a little something, or maybe they're ready to just get rid of that kitchen that's going to be their Christmas present to themselves. What's their first stop?
Call me or stop by. And
Exactly where's your business
We're
located?
on 309, the north end, past the airport beltway, almost at the top of the hill before you start dropping down into Drums,
Okay.
on the left-hand
And
side.
they can just call, they can just come in.
And they could
Call or
and
come
see.
in,
Beautiful
and
showroom.
you know, we'll sit down and we'll try to help you the best we can.
And bathrooms too. We didn't really talk much
Yeah.
about bathrooms, but speaking of company, that's
Right.
something else you can help with as well.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, Tom, thank you very much for being with us here today.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll certainly have all your information during the show. And we'll put it on our Facebook page as well. So if you didn't catch it here, go back to our Facebook page and they can look it up and give you a call.
Okay.
All right, thanks for
Thanks.
being here.
Thank you.
You're watching Women Today only on WYLN. When we get back after the break, speaking of kitchens, we're cooking with Kathy, and it's next. Stay with us. Welcome back to Women Today, and it is time now to do some cooking with Kathy, courtesy of Fritz Singer Senior Living Community. We thank them very much for sponsoring this segment. And I see food.
I brought food today. I'm going to talk about making an inexpensive, no-cook pasta meal that you can add rotisserie chicken to liven it up. And also I want to talk about fresh herbs, because you can make this dish 3 ways just by changing out the herbs.
Super.
So,
It looks wonderful.
oh, I'm glad we're all going to get to taste it later on after the show.
Very good.
Excellent.
So the herbs that I have in this happens to be an Italian kind of pasta dish. So I have fresh basil in there with some tomato and a little bit of olive oil. What I did is, it took me a half hour to make. I boiled the pasta, and then when you take the pasta out of the water, you just mix the herbs in. Okay, so these are the kinds of herbs you can use. I have fresh basil, I have tarragon, which is in a licoricey kind of taste, parsley, sage, rosemary, thyme,
See how she did that. Sing to us, Kathy.
cilantro, and a little bit of dill. To make this a southwesterny kind of dish, we can mix the cilantro with some pepper jack cheese and some tomatoes, and put a little bit of olive oil in there, throw your chicken in there, and it's a dish that you can put on the table very quickly and be out the door after that. Another way you can do it is to make a Greek dish out of it by putting feta cheese in there and a little bit of oregano. Again, the tomatoes and the pasta and the chicken, or you can put shrimp in there too. If you have some time to maybe cook up some ground meat, you can throw that in there too. What I like to do with these dishes too is to change out the cheeses. With this, I have Romano cheese in there. It's a lively sheep cheese, which is very, very tasty. In the Greek, I would use feta, and again, the Southwest would be the pepper jack cheese. And you can sneak vegetables in there. Your kids will never even notice it. You can put some, like I said, tomatoes and some peppers and some cucumbers in the Greek one. So you just use your imagination and your creativity, and you can enjoy your kitchen and have dinner on the table in a half hour's time.
And you know what I like about this too is that you can make this ahead of time. Put it in the refrigerator and have it cold, and it's ready to go. Bring it to room temperature, and you're done. And these herbs, and we're almost out of time, these herbs are available even in the wintertime.
Yes.
You can buy them in the store as plants. And I put them, I grow them on the patio in the summer, but in the winter I buy them and I put them all in the kitchen.
It's inexpensive, and it's very, very flavorful.
It's very worth it to use the fresh stuff. Hey,
Oh
Kathy.
yeah, oh yeah.
Thank you very much for being here with us. Thank you in advance for feeding us after the show.
My pleasure.
And we're going to have a studio audience someday, so you guys can actually come in and experience all this with us. You want to stay right here on Women Today when we get back after the break. We're going to take time to pause with Virginia Jane. After that, we're going to find out who won that great bling from Sophie's. We've got more bling to win, and we'll tell you who is our Businesswoman of the Week. It's coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back to Women Today, and now it's time to pause with Virginia Jane and Dr. Kathleen Benyo. So nice to see you two back again.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you here. And we've been talking, Kathleen, a lot today about kitchens and kitchen and countertops. And you're going to tell us about a little bit of a sport that pets have?
Sort of. Now, I must say, Virginia's innocent. She doesn't do this, but it's called counter surfing. And if your dog gets up on its hind legs and checks out everything on the counter as it moves along, that's what it is. And it's
Counter-surfing.
very dangerous.
I didn't know there was a name for it.
Yeah.
Didn't know there was a name for it.
Anything that you leave on the counter isn't safe if your dog does that. And you have to think about if you have a knife on the counter, if you've just prepared dinner and you have chicken bones, anything like that. If you don't train your dog not to do that, you have no idea what they'll get into. And again, she doesn't do it, but I think it's because she's not tall enough. How about your puppy?
The new puppy does do it. I didn't know it was called counter surfing, but Heidi does jump up and put her paws on the counter and see what's up there. Now, Goldie, my golden, has never done it. So maybe they're just better temperamented, or maybe they're more
just
polite.
Wonderful dogs.
More polite.
Goldens.
But the German Shepherd, absolutely, she checks out anything. And you know what else? And maybe there's a name for it. Not only does she jump up and look what's on the counters, but also anything on the floor.
Oh,
We call it sweeping.
Sweeping or
Whatever's on the
vacuuming,
floor.
yes.
Yeah.
that's.
But you're right, it can be dangerous. It can be dangerous because you never know. I mean, if you break a glass on the floor, you don't get it all swept off the tiles, or you really have to be careful, just like having a baby in the house.
Our countertop, we have one section that's a little bit lower than the rest, so that if you're kneading dough or something like I would do that, you don't have to worry about it being too high for you. And that's especially dangerous because they know that they can reach that. The other thing when we talk about kitchens and baths is trash.
And that's the other thing Heidi gets into any chance she gets. Yes.
We used to have a trash container that turned on when you walked by it, until my dogs learned that it turned on when they walked by it, which meant they could make it open.
Flip open. Oh, wow.
So we had to get rid of that. But you want to make sure that your trash is safe and it's in a receptacle that has a lid on it, because it's amazing what dogs can get into, and none of it's good. Even if they just tear apart a tissue, that's enough of a problem for you to clean it up. But it can be worse if they get into something they shouldn't.
So you have to watch your pets.
Yeah, those are the two main areas. And counters in the bathroom too.
Yep.
Because you have all kinds of things on your countertop in your bathroom. So those are the two areas that we would suggest to be extra careful for your dogs.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kathleen Benyo and Ms. Virginia Jane. I'm glad to hear that you're well behaved and you don't counter surf. And it's great advice, really. You have to be responsible with your
Absolutely.
pets. And someday on a future show, we'll talk about how you shouldn't keep your trash in the trunk of your car either, if you live in an area like you.
Oh,
that's for another show.
story,
That's
yes.
another story. You're going to have to tune in another time for that story. But Kathleen, thank you for being here today.
Thank
when
you.
we come back after the break, it is giveaway time. You're going to find out who won that beautiful necklace from Sophie Jewelers in St. Clair. And we've got more bling to win. It's all coming up on Women Today. Stay with us.
AM 19 delivers Wi-Fi traffic for the busy woman today. Call Angela for all your dry cleaning needs. Free pickup and delivery, competitive pricing, fast, friendly service. Why struggle? AM 19 delivers is the official dry cleaning service of Women Today.
Welcome back to Women Today, and it is bling, bling, and more bling. Deborah,
That's correct.
first of all, we have that beautiful necklace from Sophie Jewelers in St. Clair. Who's getting it?
Kristen Fulton Fritz.
Kristen Fulton Fritz.
Yes,
And she liked
that's
us.
a mouthful.
Blah, blah, blah. She
She's
liked
a
us
new like on Facebook.
A new like on Facebook. See, it
Yes.
pays to like us on Facebook. That's stunning.
right.
So Kristen's going to get that beautiful bling from Sophie Jeweler, and more bling. And this is Debbie's always saying that she's going to take things home, but this time it does really
matches
match what she's wearing. This is from the Gem Shop in Jim Thorpe, and what a beautiful shop. A beautiful, beautiful shop. She's given us this, and I had to buy something while I was in there.
So this could be a bracelet or a necklace.
It's stunning, and
It's beautiful.
It's actually
is.
it's from
And it
Quebec.
matches my
It's gorgeous.
jacket.
And it matches you perfectly.
It does, I know.
No. No.
You're not.
What do they have to do to get it?
Like us on Facebook, call us, write in.
She wants her husband to like us on Facebook so she can win it. But a beautiful store. I would strongly suggest you stop by the gem shop in Jim Thorpe. Beautiful purses and just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous bling. You got to stop by, or try to win this one. It's up to you. Lonnie, our businesswoman of the week, brought to us by Felons.
Right.
Those lovely ladies in both Hazleton and in the Valley, and by Robert Stevens Face and Body. Somebody is getting this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
And everybody
letter opener.
loves that letter opener.
It's
everybody.
stunning.
But our businesswoman of the week this week is Cynthia Vetter. She was nominated by her sister,
Nice.
Joanne Memorian, and she's the owner of Hair Creations Beauty Salon. She opened her salon in 1981 and was able to raise her two sons, Bobby and Philip, in the salon. And over the years, she's volunteered at her church, Holy Rosary. She's been chairman for Daffodil Days, volunteers for Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society Telethon. She helps with CHIPS and also Helping Hands. Many people don't know all she does, but she's truly a wonderful woman. And her sister said, I am proud to call her my boss. I also work for her, and my sister and my best friend.
Lovely, lovely. And you got to really respect and admire these women who work full-time, raise their kids, and still give in the community.
Very much.
So we just want to say congratulations to her, and we'll be visiting her with our gift here from
we
Felons, and
will.
that's stunning. Now, speaking of Cancer Society events, we have two, and I'm going to cheat. I have to cheat. We're going to invite you to, first of all, to put on the pink. We want you to put on the pink. This is going to be brought to you by the Greater Hazleton Health Alliance, who's also our master sponsor here at the show. It is free. Free is good. We always say that. It's a breast cancer awareness event. It's on Thursday, October 24th from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at Sand Springs Country Club. You have to pre-register. All the information is going to be on our Facebook page, so you want to check that out. And Deborah, we have another,
We do.
a spectacular fashion show. Spectacular.
Spectacular
Tell us
event.
about it.
It's
quickly.
a fashion show where the models are cancer survivors.
a lot
It
of
is
fun.
Sunday at Top of the 80s, 1 o'clock. It's always a wonderful event.
Really enjoyed it last year.
yeah,
A lot of
it's
fun.
great.
Nice snacks and little socialization. They have
Yes.
prizes. It's a
Yeah,
really
Beautiful
nice event.
fashions.
Beautiful fashions.
Beautiful
from them
fashion.
all.
So two ways to support breast cancer awareness and prevention. It's a great
The
way to
one
do it.
on Sunday is for the Look Good, Feel Better program.
Look
so
good,
it-
feel better.
Yes.
Excellent. So those are two great events. They'll both be on our Facebook page. You want to come on out into your community and support it. Next week, it's the Halloween special. We're going to dress up. We're going to make everybody else here dress up. And we have Katie Christopher from Ghost Detectives is going to be on with us.
Oh, that's interesting.
She's going to drive. They're going to drive their hearse right up here.
You're not going to bring any ghosts.
She probably will. She may bring a few. She may bring a few, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a couple tricks, and we always have treats, so you want to join us for that. In the meantime, it has been great fun today. We'll have to go down to and check out some ways we can spruce up our kitchens and our bathrooms for the holidays. We suggest you do that as well. Go give Tom a visit, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us.